The recent events in Port Charles have reached a devastating climax as Britt Westbourne receives the horrific news that Jason Morgan was brutally murdered in his WSB prison cell, leaving her shattered and Danny Morgan entirely heartbroken. Oh my god, I'm screaming! I literally cannot even deal right now, you guys. Okay, but listen, you know I have been following this entire Jason and Britt escape plan for weeks, and I was so invested in them finally making it to Canada. I was literally just sitting on my couch eating dinner and watching the latest episode, and I literally choked on my food. My jaw dropped. I had to pause and text my friend immediately because I am shaking. Jason Morgan is dead. Like, actually brutally murdered in his prison cell, dead. I cannot breathe. I am so personally offended by this choice because after everything they have been through, after all the running and the hiding and the planning, this is how it ends. I am done. I am so done, but I also cannot stop talking about it because it is the most unhinged thing I have ever seen on television. Wait, before that happened, actually, I need to back up because my brain is going a million miles a minute. So, remember how Jason was just extradited by the WSB? He literally took the fall for Rocco Falconeri. Rocco is the one who shot Ross Cullum in the back on Pier 55 to save Jason, which is insane, by the way, a literal teenager shooting the corrupt head of the WSB, and Jason, being the absolute martyr that he is, just let Dante arrest him. He let Jack Brennan and those creepy WSB agents haul him away in a transport van. I was yelling at my screen the whole time like, Jason, what are you doing? You have a whole plan with Britt. You are supposed to go to Canada and reverse engineer her Huntington's medication. But no, he has to be the hero. And now he is dead. Brutally murdered in a federal holding facility. The audacity of the writers to do this to us. Okay, where was I? Right, so the news breaks. Britt gets the call or the message or whatever from the prison, and I swear to you, the way she collapsed, the absolute total collapse of Britt Westbourne is something I will never recover from. She was already frantic, okay? She was already running out of time because Jen Sidwell and Cullum had been threatening her life over her father's cold fusion project. She had her bags packed. She was literally standing there with her luggage earlier this week waiting for Jason to show up so they could get the hell out of Dodge. And instead of her knight in shining leather armor showing up to save her, she gets the news that he was slaughtered in a cell. I am literally crying just thinking about it. She lost her mind, the sheer panic and the grief on her face. She needs to get it together, I swear, but also how could she? Her entire future, the one sliver of hope she had left in this miserable situation, just evaporated. And don't even get me started on Danny Morgan. Oh my god, Danny, I am dead. I cannot even process the emotional trauma this poor kid is going through right now. He literally just stood on the street crying his eyes out as he watched his dad get driven away in that WSB transport van. He drove all the way to Carly's house with Charlotte to beg Valentine for help. He knew his dad was in danger. He felt it. And now he finds out his dad was murdered? Behind bars? Where he couldn't even fight back properly? It is not okay. It is so dramatic and heartbreaking. Danny is just completely devastated. He is shattered. Jason just told him he was leaving town for a while and asked how he felt about living with Alexis. And Danny was so confused and scared, and now this is the permanent reality. I honestly want to hug him through the screen. I forgot to mention earlier, but the whole reason Jason was even in this mess is because of that stupid prototype and the stolen medication. Marco Rios, who, by the way, is also dead because Cullum stabbed him to death in Alexis's office, which is a whole other level of crazy. Marco stole the meds for Britt. And Cullum found out. Cullum is just a menace. Honestly, Cullum is the most terrifying villain right now. He was supposed to be in the ICU, right? Because Lucas Jones, bless his heart, actually saved Cullum's life in surgery without realizing Cullum is the one who just murdered his boyfriend Marco. The irony. The absolute tragic irony of it all. I am screaming. Lucas is operating on the man who killed the love of his life. Port Charles is literally a madhouse. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, so Britt is processing this horrific news about Jason. At first, she is just a puddle of tears and panic. But then, you guys, something snaps in her. You can literally see the exact second her grief turns into pure, unadulterated rage. She realizes that Jason didn't just die in a random prison fight, he was assassinated, he was targeted. He was silenced. And who would want Jason silenced? Who has the power and the motive to reach into a highly secure WSB facility and have a prisoner brutally murdered? Ross Cullum or Jen Sidwell? It has to be one of them. Britt knows it. I know it. We all know it. I am calling it right now. This is going to end badly for whoever ordered that hit. Britt is not just going to sit around and cry. She is the daughter of Caesar Phazon, for crying out loud. She has that villain blood in her, and it is waking up. She was already being pressured by Jocelyn Jacks to sneak into the ICU and murder Cullum while he was unconscious. Jocelyn was literally like, "I'll stand lookout, just put something fatal in his IV," which is unhinged behavior from Jocelyn, but honestly, I support it at this point. After what happened to Jason, I am fully on board the revenge train. Britt is piecing it all together. She realizes that Cullum probably ordered the hit on Jason before he got shot. Or maybe Sidwell's goons did it to tie up loose ends because Jason knew too much about the Cold Fusion project and the whole Windermere hostage situation. I was literally pacing around my living room trying to figure out the logistics of this prison murder. Like, how did they get to him? Was it a guard? Was it another inmate on Sidwell's payroll? Jason Morgan is not an easy man to take down. He has survived explosions, getting shot in the head, falling into freezing water, being held captive in Russia for years, and he gets taken out in a jail cell? It actually makes me so mad. Why would they do that? It feels like such a brutal, unfair end for a character who was literally just trying to protect a teenager and save the woman he was running away with. But that is exactly what makes it so dramatic. It is the ultimate tragedy. And think about Carly! Oh my god, Carly is going to lose her absolute mind when she hears this. She was just hiding Valentine Cassadine in her attic, plotting this elaborate scheme to use his Swiss connections to exonerate Jason. She was so sure they were going to get him out. She literally told Valentine that Jason matters to her more than anything. When Carly finds out that Jason was murdered while in WSB custody, she is going to burn the entire city of Port Charles to the ground. Mark my words. She is going to team up with Britt, which is a duo I never thought I would see, and they are going to go on a rampage. Let's circle back to Britt for a second, because her psychology right now is fascinating. She is completely isolated. Marco is dead, Jason is dead, Lucas is grieving and totally in the dark about Cullum. Brad is trying to be supportive, but he can only do so much. Britt is staring down a terminal, Huntington's diagnosis without her medication, and the only people who have the doses are the same people who just murdered the man she loves. She is backed into the tightest corner imaginable. At this point, she has absolutely nothing left to lose, and a woman with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous creature on the planet. I am literally obsessed with the idea of Britt walking into that ICU. Imagine the scene. The lights are low, the monitors are beeping, Cullum is just lying there, completely helpless, recovering from the bullet Rocco put in his back. Britt is a doctor. She knows exactly what to inject into that IV line to make it look like heart failure. She knows how to leave no trace. Jocelyn is standing outside the door, keeping watch like a little mobster in training. Britt looks down at Cullum, the man who ruined her life, the man who ordered Jason's death, and she just pushes the plunger on the syringe. I would actually cheer. I would stand up in my living room and applaud. But wait, what if it wasn't Cullum? What if it was Sidwell? Sidwell is currently flirting it up with Ava Jerome, completely oblivious to the fact that his own son Marco is dead. Or maybe he does know now, and he ordered Jason's death as revenge? Because remember, Cullum framed Sonny for Marco's murder. But maybe Sidwell figured out Jason was involved somehow? Or maybe the WSB itself just wanted Jason gone because he was a loose end. Jack Brennan was acting super shady during the extradition. He told Carly that Jason would probably never be seen by his loved ones again. Did Brennan know this was going to happen? Was Brennan in on it? Honestly, I cannot trust anyone in this show right now. Everyone is lying, everyone is scheming, and everyone is covered in blood. I have to take a breath because I am so worked up. The sheer volume of trauma happening in this fictional town is staggering. Danny Morgan crying on the street is an image that is burned into my brain. The poor kid. He finally gets his dad back, they have this tentative relationship, and then boom, gone. And the fact that Rocco is the one who pulled the trigger on Cullum, which started this whole chain of events that led to Jason's arrest and murder. If Rocco ever finds out that his actions indirectly caused Jason's death, he is going to need years of therapy. Nathan and Lulu are trying so hard to keep Rocco quiet and protect him, but secrets never stay buried in Port Charles. Never. I just keep thinking about Britt's face when she realized her future with Jason was just gone. Poof. Erased. They had this whole plan. They were going to go to Canada. They were going to reverse engineer the meds. They were going to be safe. It was supposed to be this epic, romantic escape from the darkness. And instead, it turned into a slaughter. The writers are actually evil for giving us that hope and then snatching it away so violently. I am so mad, but I am also so hooked I cannot look away. It is like a train wreck, but with really attractive people. Okay, I need to wrap this up because my thumbs are actually cramping from typing so fast. But seriously, this storyline is wild. It is insane. It is iconic and unhinged, and I am living for the drama. Britt Westbourne is about to enter her true villain era, and I am here for it. She is going to avenge Jason Morgan if it is the last thing she does. She is going to tear down the WSB, she is going to destroy Cullum, and she is going to make Sidwell pay. I am calling it now. The fallout from this prison murder is going to change the entire landscape of General Hospital. No one is safe. Literally, no one. I have to go drink some water and calm down because my heart rate is through the roof. The absolute audacity of this show. I love it. I hate it. I'm done.